A very important night for both teams, for Brazil and for El Salvador, especially considering that in this same stadium in Los Angeles earlier today, Jamaica have effectively put themselves in a superb position to get through to the next round, having beaten Guatemala. We've got a fascinating situation now in that Brazil, having drawn their two previous games, if they were to be held by El Salvador this evening, and then El Salvador went on to beat Jamaica in a rearranged game tomorrow, then Brazil would not qualify for the next stage of this competition. So there's plenty to play for Brazil, and indeed, of course, for El Salvador, the smallest country in Central America. Although it is densely populated, total population of just 5.4 million compared to Brazil of 160 million. So as you can see, mighty Brazil, not just in their footballing worlds, but also in terms of population and density as well. Alfaro, the goalkeeper for Brazil, just shaking hands with Alfaro, his opposite number. You'd naturally expect Alfaro to be the busier of the two goalkeepers, but things have been rather strange in this competition for Brazil so far. They've created chances, it's true, but they have been far from being the dominant force that you'd expect of them. They've just made one change from the team that played in the last match, just bolstering their midfield area. And we're away. Brazil in their familiar yellow shirts, and El Salvador in the blue, and immediately going on the attack. The new player for Brazil for this competition, Franco, has come in, slotted straight into the middle of midfield, although it's just poured over to this right side now. The pitch rather heavy and is prone to cutting up, and that's because of the heavy rain at the end of the last week, and that actually forced the postponement of the game between El Salvador and Jamaica, which has been rearranged for tomorrow night. Here's Mauricio on the ball. Number 11 following him was Cerritos, player who actually plays in the Major League in America for San Jose Clash. He probably is one of the most celebrated players in El Salvador at present. Just 22 years of age, got plenty of potential. That'll be a free kick, given away by Giron. It'll be taken very quickly. Edmundo trying to spread it. Mauricio inside. Mauricio again trying to work the ball inside, but failing to do so. Good cover by El Salvador. And that has been bolstered by the performances of the other two teams in this group, who've both drawn against Brazil up until now. Jamaica 0-0 in the opening fixture in this group. And then Guatemala scoring in the 4th minute of stoppage time at the end of their game, with Brazil to equalise and to earn a 1-1 draw. Both teams defended stoutly, and El Salvador having to do the same under intense pressure at the moment. Mauricio again. It's been in that midfield area where Brazil have been largely disappointing. Cerritos. Edmundo. Poor distribution. Brazil once again have it, trying to make progress. Silva. 55 caps now for Mauro Silva. pretty much the same format for Brazil as far as their shape goes. You've got Zé Maria on this side, Junior on the far side, taking up the wing-back roles, supported by Mauro Silva, who's on the ball at the moment in the central defensive role, along with Cesar. Trying to feed it through. You've got Romario playing up front along with Edmundo. Also got Gonçalves, who's lurking around. Actually, just getting my numbers confused because Gonçalves is playing in the central defence, and it's actually Cesar who's dropped out of the team to make way for the newcomer Marcos. Sankau is his full name, but Marcos recording for this evening. It's also 4-4-2 for El Salvador, with Giron playing on the right side, Sanabria on the left, and Batres and Vicevic playing as central defenders, 4 in midfield. They have made changes to that midfield from the first game that they played in the competition, which was a 0-0 draw against Guatemala. So both sides undefeated in the competition up until now. El Salvador beginning to grow in confidence, although just taking the eye off the ball there was Franco. Zé Maria sends one over the top. It's a dangerous looking ball. Edmundo tries to cut it back. It was watched all the way by Sanabria. After 5 minutes, the score remains 0-0. But Brazil have been on the attack for most of the game. Yet to really see El Salvador as an attacking force. They'll be looking to just hold firm for the time being as they get their footing into the game. And the goalkeeper's dropped it, Alfaro. And a good save there by the goalkeeper, who is down on the ground. Frustrating tournament for Edmundo up until now. He's had some good chances in the other games, but has failed to take them or found goalkeepers in inspired form. Marcos gets it across. Away once again for El Salvador. As we see the earlier incident, goalkeeper came, failed to collect. Edmundo turned it round, and it was the keeper, along with Giron, who kept the ball out. Another chance though, and it's into the near post, and Brazil take the lead. At last a goal for Edmundo. And this looks a completely different Brazil from the one that we've witnessed in this competition up until now. Alfaro at fault once again, failed to collect the cross, was intimidated at the near post. And Edmundo fires home what is a simple goal for a player of his quality, totally unmarked. And that's a wretched start for El Salvador, but at last something to shout about for Brazil. So it's going to be a long uphill struggle, you suspect, now for El Salvador. And Brazil perhaps stung by all the criticism that they've had for their previous 2 performances. Words like lethargic and arrogant were also used against Brazil, who really failed to produce the sort of attacking football and flair that you'd expect of a Brazilian team, playing against sides you normally expect them to beat. Has to be reiterated, of course, that many of their top stars who are playing in the European leagues have not been called upon for this championship. There's Edmundo, the goal scorer, coming dead on 7 minutes. And his coach, Zagallo, perhaps might be a happier man than he's been during earlier games. But what will Brazil do now? Will they sit back and just play the ball around and show no real incentive to come forward, or will they at last give the world the sort of performance they've been looking for? Confidence plays its part in football, of course, and if you see the world champions are not up to form, it can really inspire other teams. So they will want to restate in the firmest way possible that they are still the team to beat. Salvador been packing the defence and midfield areas. It's at those set pieces that they've really been struggling. Both those early corners caused tremendous problems. The marking was poor, and once again Edmundo breaking free. Stopped on that occasion. Vicevic sending the ball forward. Chases on in that muddy corner of the field. Marcos sends the ball forward. Oh, that's a lovely play. Romario beats his man. Edmundo waiting for the cross. It does come across. Once again, Alfaro was diving before the ball came to him, but this time did make contact. This level of the game, you certainly need a goalkeeper who's prepared to commit himself and to take charge in those sort of situations. Certainly I'm putting a large part of the responsibility for that opening goal down to Alfaro. He's going to come under pressure again. 4 yellow Brazilian shirts have come forward. Nilsson on that left side, getting past his man, flipping the ball across. This time Alfaro came out to connect, but still Brazil on the attack. Once again, uncertainty in the El Salvador defence. Silva. Trying to go on the outside, but not able to get past his man, and no free kick. Forward by Vicevic, but Brazil always favourites to get there first. Vicevic again. Yugoslav born, but moved across to El Salvador some years ago. And the advice of his former coach back in Yugoslavia. Quite an interesting story, really. A player who is going along quite nicely in his own leagues, but was told there might be opportunities in Central America. Maria sends the ball down the wing, but too much pace on it. See, it's a very good crowd. And a double bill of action for them. They saw 5 goals in the game between Jamaica and Guatemala, one that got fairly feisty at times. And they've already seen a goal in this game, which went to Brazil. Slowly, though, El Salvador were getting back into it, but again, midfield errors potentially costing them dear. You can't afford to give Brazil possession in those sort of areas, because they'll eventually put something together that will really punish you. Sena Berea sends the ball back, and that looked like it went over, but the flag never came from the referee's assistant. Di Maria sends it inside. Marcos back. Mauro Silva is playing in a far more advanced role than we've seen in previous games. Flavio sends it forward, and there's space down this left side. Junior occupies it so well. Oh, another dangerous position, and An awkward back pass for the goalkeeper. Just gives the possession back to Brazil. Jose Maria sends it inside and continues his run. Creates space here for Marcos, who sent it across to the far post. Again the goalkeeper came. Again he didn't connect. And Edmundo's header goes wide. Well, he does not look secure. And in that situation, he wasn't getting too much help from his defenders. You wonder whether it might have been better to stay on his line, because he's certainly not making contact with it as he comes out. I think Zagallo knows that there's a good victory here for the taking. I must say, this looks a much improved Brazilian team. Certainly look interested. Reputation very much has been on the line over the last few days, where results haven't gone their way. 2 draws out of matches that people are expecting them to win quite easily, especially the one against Guatemala. I think they were rather stung by that goal in the closing stages when they thought they already had victory. Nelson turns one way then the other, but was still in trouble. That was an important challenge by Mauro Silva. Junior inside. Here's Marcos. Junior out on the wing now. Continues his run to Nilsson. Junior again. And Mundo came across to help. Giving away possession. Cerritos inside. Still no real sign of El Salvador as an attacking force. Vicevic making the run forward. Plays for Aguila. Maria. That's a good layoff. And the return. Escobar it was with the long hair, who was making some inroads into that midfield area for El Salvador. Maria. Cerritos. There's Escobar. Now Vicevic. Last getting a passing movement together, but they're under pressure again. Vicevic. It's a good defender, no problem in winning that ball back. Escobar sends it wide. That's better. Now they need to get some support up. Franco it was who won the throw-in and gets the return now. Escobar forced backwards. Good pressure from Brazil, but it's still El Salvador with it. Trailing by 0-0, but coming forward. And that's good play, and that'll be a free kick and probably a yellow card as well. Mauro Silva, seeing the danger, pulls his man back. And that was rather cynical. Borja it was who was doing really well, and it's just going to be a quiet word for Mauro Silva, who I think is somewhat lucky to escape without a yellow card. Most certainly a professional foul. Bought his team time to organise their defence, and Tafarel is doing more of that. Escobar, and this is a shot! There's a chance! whisked away from danger. Goncalves it was. Shrugs his arms as if to say, what on earth was going on there? Perhaps there was a possibility of an offside flag going up for the most advanced of the El Salvador players, who seemed to break before the shot came in. Now possibility of a quick breakout. It's a case of staying onside. Romario appears to have done that. Cover comes across, but it doesn't matter. Romario scores his second goal of the competition. And Brazil 2 goals into the lead. And it was a typical Romario goal. Really is a superb player. He's achieved practically everything in the game. And at 32 is still lethal in front of goal. And again, question marks against the goalkeeper, beaten at his near post, Alfaro. But Romario took his chance. And now Brazil leading by 2 goals to 0. And we've not had 20 minutes yet. What is the captain of the team? And he's taking his responsibilities very seriously. Always been a controversial figure. Might be a masterstroke making him captain. And here are more opportunities for Brazil. Always so lethal from free kicks. The shot coming in, and still the possibility. Alfaro saves them 3 times at that near post. And somewhat redeems his reputation, Alfaro. It looked a certainty that Edmundo would score. A fearsome shot coming in. Flavio couldn't keep hold of it, but look how well he got up to save from Edmundo, not once but twice. Rather speculative shot, which was never going to do much for the El Salvador cause. Certainly wasn't going to cause any problems for Tafarel. Marcos. Edmundo scored one, and others which have been saved, but look how tricky he is in the penalty area. There were 2 men over on this far side. It was just as well that El Salvador managed to get the ball away as the shot comes in again, and Alfaro eventually collects it. Finding it difficult to break out of their own half. That's good pressurising and lovely skills. Zinho breaking free. Denilson has got help if he needs it. Shows a different path rather than using the wing. Lovely technique with the outside of the boot. See Maria now. Sends it across. We know that they're fallible in the air, and again it wasn't a clean header. Edmundo is also lurking. You feel every time a cross comes in that a goal could be at the end of it. There's no assurance about the defending, but lovely skills here by Edmundo. Being the one player who's exploited that sort of play in all the games so far. He's been prepared to take the defence on and dribble with the ball. Romario, the great predator. Poacher supreme. Alfaro has seen plenty of the action. Cerritos inside. looking for the return. Away by Marcos. Again, they're under tremendous pressure, but they've worked the ball free. The referee was thinking about a free kick, but said play on for the advantage for El Salvador. It's a good one, Vicevic now. Got 3 players round him. No way he's going to win that. Escobar sends it forward, but only as far as Maria. Yes, the Brazilians have got the likes of Cafu, who will be competing for Maria's role, and on the far side, Roberto Carlos will come in, no doubt, for Junior when it comes to the World Cup finals. Roberto Carlos, who is named one of the footballers of the year by FIFA, and there's another good overlap here, another important challenge. Feel that the defence, though, are living on a knife edge the whole time, straining every sinew to keep Brazil out. It's only a matter of time before Brazil find another way of getting past them. 2 very contrasting goals that they've scored so far, as the rain comes tumbling down once again. Very unseasonable weather that they've been having in these here parts. Torrential rain which forced the postponement of the earlier game that El Salvador was supposed to be playing against Jamaica, which will now take place tomorrow. And if Brazil win this game, then Jamaica will know that just a draw tomorrow against El Salvador will be enough to see them through. Rain really driving down. A very exaggerated limb for Escobar. Look at that. That is a very clear indication of how wet it is, and there's no covering on this particular stadium, so everyone is getting drenched. Certainly the El Salvador spirits were dampened by those 2 goals within 19 minutes. And there's a chance for more. It really was an audacious shot. Got the feeling that he wants to make his mark on the game, Edmundo. He might have already scored a hat-trick. Managed to keep it in, took out 2 defenders at the same time, and the most acute of angles went for goal. I'm not sure Romario on the far side was too amused by that. In the meantime, Denilson is still struggling. They won't take any risks with it. They'll have plenty of cover on the bench. And when one of the key players in the squad goes down, and you're leading by 2-0 in a game that you're controlling comfortably, I don't think they'll take any chances. Still doesn't look very happy. Well, they'll probably give him a few minutes to try and run off the knock. Referee starting his watch again. Escobar. Vicevic plays it back. Cut out by Mauricio, continues his run now down the wing. Well, the pitch was already heavy, but that downpour will not improve the condition of it. Now it's over. Who came to Brazil's rescue, and they were only leading by 1-0. Marcos, the player who came in for this game. Of course, the defence for Brazil was changed after the first game, after the sending off of Junior Baiano. It's one of the other aspects to the competition that's not been pleasing Brazil. Late in the game, things have gone very wrong for them in both of the two games they've played so far. Junior Baiano being sent off in the closing minutes of the game against Jamaica, and then conceding that goal against Guatemala in their second game, which then the scores were tied at 1-1. First 20 minutes were always going to be important for El Salvador. Conceded 2 goals in that time, and now once again having to react very quickly in defence. Escobar has a bit of space, feeds it to the wing. That's much better play. Escobar's waiting again. Franco taking his time. Escobar sent it deep. Well, a few moments of uncertainty for Brazil here. Cerritos sent it back and finds one of his own players. Lovely skill. Escobar again. Vicevic thinking about the shot. Well, it's one of those efforts that if it does find the back of the net, you would be hailing it as one of the great goals of all time. Borja it was who shot, and limping out of the game is Denilson, and that's bad news. So Junior comes on. There are a few juniors in the Brazilian lineup. This one is Sergio. Marcos thought he could get past his man, but was blocked. Sergio, incidentally, the player who came on, is a naturally midfield player who plays for Grêmio. One of the new players actually who was brought into the Brazilian squad because of the unavailability of so many players. Hernando has come very deep. Got Marcos outside of him. Vicevic sent it forward. It's all very tight, and Vicevic gets fouled. And the ice pack immediately on the leg for Denilson. Well, hopefully he'll be fit for the later games. Presuming, of course, that Brazil hold on to this lead and qualify for the next stage. They'll be thinking about, of course, increasing the lead. Escobar in with a challenge which nearly came off, but as it is, it's Brazil who break quickly. Romario's flick, Zinho sent it forward. Chases on, and it's Junior who showed his pace to get there first. Romario was waiting in the centre, but the cross never found him. Cerritos hasn't had too much possession of the ball. Vicevic inside. Got 2 players to beat Cerritos, and he does well. And then gets fouled. Marcos, the player who is penalised. Cerritos actually played in the last Gold Cup and scored a goal against Trinidad. Mundo's come so deep. Unusual to see him closer to his own goal than the opponents. Played out to the wing, that's good work. Junior cutting inside. So a throw to El Salvador, chance for them to get a few players forward, and they're going to take a few chances. But they won't want a heavy defeat by any means. Silva breaking through, it's a terrific ball, the defence has been split open, and this time Alfaro stayed firm. Goalkeeper has been prone to diving before he needed to, and on this occasion he stood tall, and it was just as well. Mario trying to chip Alfaro. Vicevic. Senior is getting through plenty of work in midfield. Well cut out. Cienfuegos now. Franco prepared to take them on, ran straight into the defender, thinking he might get a free kick, and nothing came of it. Cienfuegos guilty of the free kick. Awarded to Edmundo. He actually plays his football for LA Galaxy in the United States. In fact, to be fair, he got in the second of the challenges. I think the free kick had already gone. He's been awarded. Cienfuegos finding Escobar. Marcos, Sergio, substitute came on for Denilson, continues his run down the left side. Exactly the sort of position that Denilson, had he been on the field, would have taken up. Mauricio Silva. Flavia. Maria. Trying to find Zinho. Covering tackle came in from Sanabria. Escobar. Cienfuegos just loses out, but still possession for El Salvador. Vicevic. Little nudge in the back. Referee says play on. Well, the idea was right to try and spread the play from Cerritos, but only found a Brazilian player. And again, they're looking a little bit tentative at the back. actually that Edmundo has been one of the few Brazilian players who's enhanced his reputation in this particular tournament. González has come forward. Zinho, it's a long one, which this time Alfaro comes out. Quick release of the ball, found his man Franco. Actually did quite well. Hard job to play against the Brazilians. Not had too much support. Lays off again. Cerritos. Vicevic. I saw that didn't connect, but Sergio comes forward. Romario looking for the return. It doesn't come his way. Cienfuegos. Escobar. Franco's good run. Hasn't got too much support in the centre. He has to hold the ball up. Cerritos is on the far side, but is heavily outnumbered. That's good play. Best spell of the match so far for El Salvador. Trying to beat two players, it still might work for them. Here's Sergio, who lays it off. Zinho sent it forward. Flick from Romario, who's looking for a non-look. That's good work by Cerritos. Just under then 5 minutes to go before half-time. El Salvador could really do with a goal before the interval. Really would change the complexion of the game for them. They are growing in confidence. You can see that by the way the midfield players are beginning to combine. Must have been a real shock conceding that relatively early goal to Edmundo just 7 minutes into the game. But they've done well despite conceding a second goal. They haven't lost their heads. But they're under pressure again. They can't afford another goal. Sergio sends it wide. Cross comes in. Defence looking a bit flat-footed again. Escobar's header finds his own man. He can't get the return, but it go all the way through to Alfaro. Bit of blow for Nilsson to have to limp out of this game. The way that Sergio will look upon it is that provides him with a chance to boost his chances of being selected for the World Cup finals. He's certainly been quite heavily involved since coming on. Escobar sends it forward and gets a return. So free kick conceded again by Mauricio. Cienfuegos, the player who is brought down. Escobar seems to be lining it up. Now, why has that Brazilian player gone to the ball? He was trying to line up a wall which was very hastily put together. Also ruled out the possibility of a quick one. Launched into the wall, and at some cost to the Brazilian who got in the way. I think that's Sergio who's writhing on the ground. The impact was quite horrific for the player, and the substitute is in need of being substituted himself. And this is why. Terrific power in the shot. It really would have been interesting had it evaded Sergio. What sort of problems it might have created for Tafarel. Well, he'll remember this game, but for not quite the right reasons. But he hasn't got long to wait before half-time, and he'll be able to get his breath back then. Terrific shot. Still puffing out his cheeks. Well, we often talk about the Brazilians being lethal from free kick situations, but El Salvador show they pack a punch themselves. That's much better play. They really are beginning to get their confidence. The shock of those two goals seems to have subsided, and I think now the feeling is that they can perhaps display their talents. I think sometimes teams like El Salvador may feel it's better to go down fighting. Didn't quite work out. Rodríguez it was who was unable to get there. And Alves was just pressured into making that mistake. 15 seconds to go before we enter stoppage time at the end of this first half, and it's Brazil who are looking for a third goal before the interval. Sergio cuts it back. Two El Salvadorian players went for the ball, and now the quick breakout is on. Escobar has the ball for El Salvador. Cienfuegos is in the centre. Here's Franco. Drives it in, nearly found his man. Wouldn't take much to change the complexion of this game. A goal for El Salvador, and at 2-1, they'd be very much back in this game. Escobar playing the ball back to Rodríguez, and then gets the return. Finishing the half brightly. Still face a mammoth struggle to get back into this game. But if Brazil do try and sit on their 2-goal lead, they might be storing up a few problems for themselves. Referee looking at his watch, saying they can continue for the time being. Needs to be quick though, this break, one suspects. They've earned a free kick. I can think of one Brazilian player who won't be looking forward to this. I wonder whether Sergio was volunteering to go into the wall. He didn't need to. Quick free kick, nearly working the trick. Flavio coming across to deny Cerritos a clear shot at goal. It was from this sort of situation, from a corner, that Guatemala got an equaliser, although from the other side of the field. Escobar sent it across. Tafarel came out, got a hand to it, but for once it was the Brazilians who didn't look too secure in their defending. Vicevic tidying up. The referee now adding on the time for the 2 injuries to Denilson and to Sergio, but there can't be too much time left. Another quick look at the watch. And there's the half-time whistle. Brazil going into the lead after just 7 minutes through Edmundo. Very easy header from the near post, which put them into the lead. And they extended the lead after 19 minutes. Second goal supplied by Romario. There were the odd possibilities for El Salvador. They've worked hard. Cienfuegos, the local player, certainly one of those who've been trying his hardest. But at half-time, the score: Brazil 2, El Salvador 0. Well, at half-time, one change to the teams has been made. El Salvador have brought on a slightly more attacking player than Renderos in place of Batros. And that's a sign that they really do need to chase this game, trailing by 2-0. But strangely, I would imagine that their coach would have been fairly happy at half-time by the way that his team had responded despite going those 2 goals down. That obviously would have been a disappointment initially for him, but they really were working very hard towards the half-time whistle and were coming more and more into the game. I think Kiril Dojcinowski, the coach for El Salvador, would have been telling his team, you just carry on the way you've been doing in the last 20 minutes of the first half, and there may yet be something to enjoy in this game. Brazil, after going 2 goals up, rather went into their shell again, as they've done throughout this tournament. Got to work his way back and almost putting themselves into more trouble with Edmundo lurking once again dangerously just outside that area. Sergio now sent it forward. That almost came off. It still might. Zinho trying to work his way into the box, losing his footing of his own volition. Febrero will have this. That'll be a free kick. Renderos, incidentally the man who came on, played in the first game of the tournament against Guatemala. Received a yellow card. He is a very much attack-minded player. So they have rejigged. Just lost out on that occasion, Renderos. Playing over on the left side. Sergio going in hard, but didn't win the ball for Brazil. Vicevic plays it out to the wing. Cerritos has come across to the right now, as indeed has Vicevic. And that's all to accommodate Renderos, who's on the ball now. He's looking for the return from Escobar. So in the second half, El Salvador will be posing different questions for Brazil. They're enjoying quite a bit of possession in midfield, but it was just the final ball that was a problem. But I must say that this rain, neither team will enjoy too much as it drives down hard. You can see the effect it's having on our cameras. Goncalves tries to support Sergio. Escobar plays it back. It was an awkward ball to control, especially with several Brazilians in the near vicinity. Well, the first time really you can hear the samba rhythm beginning to beat from the crowd. One of the tremendous things about the support that Brazil get wherever they go, they really do enjoy a party atmosphere. Sergio laying off, but only finding an El Salvadorian player, and Escobar sent it forward. Now Franco, who's actually born in Brazil himself. He has spent most of his career in Central American football, and he's having to watch his homeland players advance once again dangerously, but Escobar now has it. Renderos continues his run down the left. Brea send it back to the wing. Vicevic is now switched back to the left side. Brazil 2 goals to the good. Making progress through junior. Sergio. Zinho lays off. Marcos forward. That won't find its way to Zinho. Good movement again from El Salvador. Goncalves has to come across. Just concedes a throw-in. Cerritos it was who made the run forward. Now Escobar, who's got a good shot at him. It struck his own player. Didn't have the devastating effect it had on Sergio in the first half. Seems to have recovered. Mondo charging in on goal. This is dangerous here, but just slightly overhit the pass, or rather the ball that he tried to push forward to create a scoring chance, just slightly overhit. Cienfuegos lays off to Renderos, the substitute. At least they gave the attacker plenty of time to try and influence the game, coming on at half-time. Flavio sends it forward. That was an important interception. Even if it did cost, in fact I was going to say it cost a corner, but it didn't, because that was great work by the defenders. Managed to just keep the ball in. That was very important for them, because they have looked so susceptible from corners. Rodríguez inside. Forward by Giron. Zinho coming deep. Sergio lays off. This is Junior. Plenty of possession for Brazil, but it's not exactly hurting El Salvador. But I suppose they'd claim that at 2 goals up, that they don't really need to press the game too much. More problems here for El Salvador. Wasn't a good cross. Part of the field that is particularly badly affected by the heavy rain that this area has been having over the last few days. Marcos, into the team for this particular game. Escobar didn't control it. Romano was being held back. Scorer of 1 goal. Edmundo the scorer of the other. Here's Sergio. Zinho. Taken on Escobar. Got in the challenge. Needs help. Oh, they've done well. From a really tight situation. That's got the crowd going. Better football coming in this instance from El Salvador, and it continues as the ball goes to the wing to Renderos. Inside now, Franco. That's good movement. Escobar now. Really would lift the spirits of the crowd in this damp weather. Should El Salvador get a lucky break, perhaps, and get back into this game. Escobar helping out the defence this time, Sanabria. Escobar again. Well, Flavio is questioning the decision to award the free kick to El Salvador, but this might be interesting. Well, Escobar, we know, has got a fearsome shot on him. Flavio clashing with Franco. Well, they know that they've got to watch out. Borja is there, and certainly lining himself up for the shot as he drives. No, he doesn't drive it in. It's a much cleverer move. And it might have worked for them. Certainly the Brazilians weren't on the same wavelength, expecting the shot. Sergio doing well to win the free kick and making good ground to take the ball away from danger. This is much better stuff from Brazil, but again the pass just wasn't up to what was required in that sort of situation. That's been the story of this championship for Brazil. So apart from the first 20 minutes in this game have been largely disappointing in this tournament. There's Israel Castro Franco, to give him his full name. The splash of water came up when Mauro Silva played the ball back, so there's a bit of loose lying water now for the players to contend with as well. It's not pleasant. And this pitch is going to come under more heavy duty play over the next few days, what with rearranged games and semi-finals and the final to be played on it as well. Oh, lovely play by Nando. Is still going strong. Look at that packed defence. Oh! Well, the goalkeeper wasn't too sure where his goal was, as the ball was driven in by Marcos. Terrific run, though, once again from Edmundo. Got this ability to take on players. One of the old-fashioned Brazilian players, really. Shouting Brazil, Brazil, at least a large section of it. As Junior now has it. Sergio sent it across to the far side, but there wasn't a yellow shirt waiting. That was a lovely turn by Renderos. Cienfuegos looking for Franco, but it's Junior who cuts the ball inside. Escobar. Cienfuegos looking for the space down the left side. Renderos now trying to pick his pass, prepared to take on the Brazilians. Got past Marcos but had to turn back in the end. Quick layoff. Rodríguez. Cerritos cuts it back, or at least tried to. Ran out of pitch. Lovely run. Edmundo refused to give up, and then the ball was driven in, and look at the reaction of the goalkeeper, who was not sure about it. So Washington de la Cruz has come on for Escobar. So more reorganisation in the El Salvador team. De la Cruz did play in the last game, so they have switched things around tremendously. I thought actually that Escobar was having quite a good game. Still plenty of time left. certainly the feeling is that we haven't seen the last of the goal scoring. Here's Junior. Zinho. Maro Silva. Space down the right side. Maria. Zinho. Lack of control from Junior in the first touch for De La Cruz. That found Franco. Might win it back, but Brazil just managed to keep possession. Maro Silva on the ball. This is football for Deportivo La Coruña in Spain. Well, that's the most animated I've seen Zagallo in the whole tournament. Edmundo breaking free again and wins the free kick. Flash of emotion from Zagallo is just something I wish that some of his team would also display. Just a bit of enthusiasm and passion for the game. It does seem strange to talk about a Brazilian team that lacks those qualities. More problems for Alfaro. Zinho, of course, is the great exponent of the free kick in this particular team. But it actually came from another source. Edmundo. He's had a real fire in his belly. Scored the opening goal. The chances to add to it on a couple of occasions. Here's Maro Silva. Over 50 caps now for Maro Silva, who's just into his 30s. Junior, though, one of the newer breed at 24. And Calvez losing out in the end. Now, can El Salvador exploit the space? Cienfuegos sent it forward to Cerritos, but he lost possession, and now it's Brazil coming forward again. And looking threatening. Romario's on the far side, is played too close to Alfaro. There's the scoreline. A result that will send Brazil through to the next round. Mexico and the United States of America have already achieved that. We're waiting to see how this group ends up to find out who they'll actually play in the next round. Cienfuegos, I don't think he was aware that if he'd actually connected with that, he might have had a goal-scoring chance. Nice layoff. Wasn't able to get to the return because he was on the deck, Zinho. Renderos is brought down and holds his leg. Actually, the two number 7s on the field, Edmundo and Renderos. De La Cruz. Cerritos. He played a 1-2 with one of the Brazilian players. And Junior just points out that there's an El Salvador player still on the ground. Very late challenge. I think Edmundo is very, very lucky that the referee didn't take any action against that. And the substitute has only been on the field a matter of minutes, having come on at half-time. He's struggling a little bit now. Really was a heavy knock. You'd want to be dragged off the field if you're playing against the world champions.
Tomorrow night's game between El Salvador and Jamaica.
Now from Sergio, Mauro Silva. Edmundo has come deep. He was the perpetrator of that challenge on Renderos. From Calvez to Flavio. As always, the defensive players for Brazil always so comfortable on the ball. More defending to be done, though. That's a useful ball. Cruz didn't quite have the pace, but he's now got the chance if he can get there. So plenty of commitment, but a really high challenge. Sergio breaking into the El Salvador half. Well, there was a man over on the far side. Mario wasn't able to find him. Rodríguez sends it forward. That's a useful ball. And Brazil have got the numerical advantage. And perhaps there was a little bit of selfishness about Edmundo's effort. Romario was waiting in the centre for a cross. Not for the first time in this competition, was left frustrated at the lack of service. Junior. Mauro Silva. Junior again to the wing. Sergio. Again, a splash of water comes up as he makes the pass to Mauro Silva. Referee spotting the off-the-ball incident with Sergio going to ground. So the final substitution for El Salvador will be made, and Cerritos comes off. Jorge González Benítez coming on. Immediately he'll have to start defending because it's Edmundo on the ball. Renderos getting the ball away. González, who's just come on, is an attacking player. Time they're running out for El Salvador. Hard into the far side, it will come to Junior. Haven't been under as much pressure in this second half, but I think that's largely down to the ambition of Brazil. Now, finally, Renderos gets it free. Couldn't find Franco. Di Maria inside. Case of Romario being taken along with the ball. Franco coming back to help, as indeed is the substitute González. A free kick in the sort of area that Zagallo's team works so hard on in the training field. No Roberto Carlos in this team, of course. who is famed for his free kicks. There is Zinho there. Edmundo just waiting this time for anything that might break from it. Great shot. Wasn't that far away. Zinho, who's celebrated for taking the free kicks, all the dead ball situations. Just occasionally it changes. Look at the swerve on it, and it really wasn't that far away. Salvador need to get the ball forward quickly. Just under 20 minutes left. But football has this funny habit of producing surprises. It would only take one goal for El Salvador. The pressure would mount on Brazil. It would be a similar situation to the one faced in the game against Guatemala, where they only led by a solitary goal and then conceded a goal in stoppage time. The lead looks comfortable at the moment, but it can change, and they're looking to change it now, and they're pressing men forward. Plenty of blue shirts joining the attack, but not where the ball was played. Zinho. Sends the ball down the wing. I think if Zé Maria just continued his normal stride pattern, he would have probably collected with it, but failed to do so in the end. And now it's once again El Salvador who are breaking. Franco makes sure he wins it. Brazil just laying off to a degree, but wayward pass. Sergio brought down, and Borja will be in trouble here with the referee. Receives the yellow card. That's his first in the competition. He wasn't booked in the last game against Guatemala, although several players were from the El Salvador team. Vicevic, Renderos and Escobar all received yellow cards in the first game. That's broken to the substitute De La Cruz, who goes for goal. Wasn't too far away, decent effort, and certainly worth trying. Defenders just backing off. Tafarel, though, of course, had it covered. Haven't really seen Tafarel tested in any of the games so far. Pattern of the play similar in most of the games, that Brazil will allow teams possession up until the final third, and they make it very difficult. And it might be even more difficult had they scored a third goal there. Mario always dangerous from those sort of situations. Alfaro, who has played for El Salvador at every level of the game, under 17s, under 19s, under 21s. He also played for the under 23s. And that's his full debut, actually, in a friendly game on this ground against LA Galaxy. That was in July '96. Plenty of the Central American teams actually gain useful experience by playing against club sides. So they visit such places as the United States and Mexico. Certainly Brazil, if they're given half the chance. keeper's just frayed a little bit there with Borja. And it looks like the yellow card will be brandished. Edmundo, the player who earns a yellow card. Compared to some of the other challenges, wasn't that harsh. But perhaps he deserved a yellow card for the earlier incident anyway with Renderos. This time it's Borja who is penalised. Just over 14 minutes to go. Brazil haven't added to their lead, having made it 2 after 19 minutes through Romario. Lays the ball off. Looking for some space down the left side. Sergio breaking into the box. Defence all over the place. Sergio gets it to the far post. There's no one there, but now they might gather again. Fired into the near side. And the shot wide from Zinho. Difficult one for him to control. It was fired in. Did his best to divert it towards the goal. That angle looks like it would have been very difficult to miss the target. So another opportunity for Russo to come on. He came on as a substitute in the last game against Guatemala. Rodríguez losing out but fighting back to try and win it. Concedes the free kick. Sergio is spending a lot of the time on the ground at the moment, as reflected by the muddy attire, this very heavy pitch. Well, one back. Now can they get men forward quickly? Straight to Gonçalves, who starts off another move which involves all the back players of Brazil. Coming forward. Oh, that's good play. Again, slightly overhit by Romario. Alfaro, the El Salvador goalkeeper, who's had a much quieter second half, was very quick to respond. That'll be another free kick. Two players to beat. Got the ball past them, but quickly off his line was Alfaro. So Zé Maria will make way. Russo, who is naturally a right-sided player, will fit in.
Leading the game, Zé Maria, replaced by number 13, Russo.
Immediately slots into the right side. Vicevic hasn't seen too much of the ball in the second half. And that's probably a reflection of the fact that Brazil haven't done too much attacking. Cruz making life difficult for the Brazilian, but he's still got the ball forward. Continued his run. Cienfuegos. Very deep to really make too much impact on Brazil, although that was a very nice touch. Showing some good skills that all these teams have. 10 minutes to go, plus any stoppage time. Rather weak free kick, which was awarded there against Borja. There'll be another chance here for Albert to replace Edmundo, who was booked earlier. He did score that crucial first goal. Albert, who's not had too much of an opportunity in a Brazilian shirt to show what he can do, but has played quite well for Bayern Munich in their Champions League run, scoring 3 goals as they've reached the quarter-finals of the Champions League, which resumes, of course, the early part of March. And he's certainly got his supporters out there.
I don't think his name's Giovanni Elber.
Silva, Sergio, Thiago Silva again. Albert would dearly love to make some impression on this Brazilian team. Physically very strong, but has to watch El Salvador take possession. There's some space over this far side for them, but they're going a different path. You know, eventually they do switch it. Also makes the challenge, and Brazil have the ball back. They've got men over. And another fairly tame free kick, won by Russo. Exactly the worst challenge in the world. I'm sure if Russo wanted to keep his footing, he could have done so, but they've won the free kick in any case. Be an awkward angle to go for goal direct. Seemed to be plenty of power in the shot, but this time the wall stayed firm. Junior. Well, that was deserving a free kick. Rodríguez penalised. And Sergio getting even muddier as he rides on the ground. Not for the first time. Supporting leg taken away by Rodríguez. Rodríguez, a player who spent much of his early career in the second division before moving to FAS, the first division. Here's the substitute, González. Cruz inside. Got himself about Sergio. Shown plenty of work rate, having come on for Denilson in the first half. Finding it so difficult to break down the Brazilian defence, though. There was only one option, that was back to the goalkeeper, who thought about picking it up for a second there, I think. Given away. They're looking exposed to the back. Albert waiting in the centre. Romario running out of pitch. That was the opportunity that Albert was hoping for. Romario doing his best, but didn't quite have the pace to keep the ball in. Alfaro has hurt himself. Was asking for help in taking the kick. Borja, a long clearance. eventually, with help. Cruz almost playing his colleague into trouble there, Sanabria. That was nice play by Renderos. In every aspect of the game, Brazil have just had the edge on El Salvador. They've done as much as they needed to. Of course, helped by that early goal from Edmundo. Didn't have to wait too long for a second goal from Mauricio after just 19 minutes. And since then, they've rather been in cruise control. Junior's layoff. Sergio making good ground. Then whips the ball over to the far side and into the side netting. Well, Albert's great strength is in the air. I'm sure that they've really enjoyed the sort of service that Edmundo got from the corner after just 7 minutes, which saw Brazil taking the lead. There's the third goal. Albert it is who scores. He makes an impression on the game, and a smile from Zagallo. Wasn't pleasant viewing for the El Salvador bench. Dreadful mistake by the keeper. As he came out, he couldn't stop the shot. And he took his chance, did Albert. And for once in the dying minutes of this competition, there's a thumbs up sign for Brazil. They've done something right. Extended the lead to 3-0. And perhaps there's time for a fourth. I certainly think so. Albert trying to burst through. Romario was just beyond him. Albert 3 minutes from the end, scoring the third goal and then getting the free kick as well. Space down this right side for Russo. Unable to make any real impression. Well, late in games, things have gone wrong for Brazil. In the first game, they had Junior Baiano sent off. He'll be available for the next round, which Brazil have now made certain. And then in the last game against Guatemala, they actually conceded a goal to make it 1-1. And now there may be a fourth goal here. Oh, that was superb. Albert scores his second goal and delights his coach. And that was a glorious goal. Showed tremendous skill, presence of mind, calmness in that situation after the defensive lapse. Look at that. Party time. And Brazil now 4 goals in the lead, and El Salvador soundly beaten. And you always got the feeling with Brazil they could turn it on at any time that they wanted to. And for Albert, has really made the most of his chance. So we enter stoppage time at the end of this game. Don't think there'll be too much to add on. Will there be a consolation for El Salvador? Or is there time for Elber to complete his hat-trick? Perhaps there is. Oh, the board is through! The defence exposed again! Oh! The post is hit by Romario. That's the tournament for him, really. He's missed chances that normally he would take, although he has got on the score sheet in this particular game. But that should have been a 5th goal for Brazil. That's nice play by De La Cruz. Given away. But in the end, the gaps appeared at the back. El Salvador, who made a nervous start. A sad finish for them, but for Brazil, they finally stamped their authority on this tournament. Comfortable 4-0 victory for Zagallo, thanks to 2 goals from Albert in the final few minutes of the game. The substitute taking his chance and at last making an impression on his coach. Earlier goals in the first half from Edmundo and of course Romario. So the final score, Brazil winning by